channels.
Okay. And if for some reason I start talking and I'm on mute, let me know, because I'm still battling a cold, so I'm not going to be with my voice activated the whole time.
Cool.
Okay, I see it. I got live.
Yep, same.
Okay. Who are those handsome four men?
Yeah, we don't look half bad.
Now I don't know, if we are live at our. How do I make this go live on my channel?
Do you want to share?
Yeah,
I'll make sure you're not live on your actual channel though before you share that. Okay, there. Oh, we got 2 minutes. Okay, so you're not live right now, so that's good.
Good.
Is this your first live stream?
First live stream ever.
Okay, so there's no actual live. I can't even see if you for live section on there, but you're good. It's not showing up right now.
Okay. I'll share my screen real quick and just. Am my screen shared right now?
No, I've taken it off, but I can add it back on if you want.
Yeah, add it back on real quick. Where would I click to go? Where am I clicking to go live when we go live?
The top right corner, you see where it says go live in the top right.
So yours is already there. So can you see your privacy is set to private at the moment? So if you go to edit and then change your privacy to public, so just where in the middle, right in the middle where it says privacy.
Oh, yeah.
Edit, scroll down, you'll find where you change that just there. Change that to public. As soon as you hit public,
you're going to go live. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just do that when we do that.
Okay.
Although we're probably there, aren't we?
We're pretty close, like a minute away or something like that. We're allowed to be late, right?
No.
We're allowed to be early as well, so it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, we can open it up.
Okay, who's doing the intro?
Okay, go on then. I'll do it.
I can do it. I mean, I'll go.
Okay, all right, go on, Clay. Go for it.
Okay,
well,
cool.
You can intro it as your first live stream.
When are we going live? We all hitting the button?
Yeah, we'll hit the button at the same time. What are we? Should we just go live now? Are we all?
Well, you know what? Maybe I should do it just in case Clay's doesn't go live right away.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So whenever you guys are ready, I'll just yap for a minute.
Cool.
Okay. Should we go for it?
Okay. One sec.
No. I was going to close my door, but it's fine. Okay. Nobody's home.
Okay.
All right. So you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. All right. And we should be live. Hopefully you guys could hear me. Let me know in the chat. Everybody's channel should be going live. You'll be able to see Tab Geeks. You'll be able to see DPC. And you'll be able to see Inside Wire. We're all streaming on our own channels. If you're not following those channels, go ahead and follow them. I'll put links in my chat to everybody's YouTube channel, but you should be aware of who they are. I put a pin in the beginning or the top of my chat saying that I'm not going to, typically I answer everybody's questions. That's not how it's going to happen today because we have 3 other people here, 4 people here, including myself. So we will answer some questions and we'll be grabbing questions from everybody's chats and we'll talk about it. And we'll also be talking amongst each other about Ubiquiti stuff or whatever you guys really want to. So yeah, everybody, I guess, introduce yourself. We'll go around the table. So we'll start with Inside Wire.
So yeah. So I'm sure some of you have recognized my face multiple times across videos. If not my face, definitely my thumbnails, that's for sure. So my name is Monty, obviously Inside Wire. So let's talk Ubiquiti this evening.
Awesome. And how about Tab Geeks?
Evening. It's noon here in Southern California. We've got the best weather. I'm Jesse from Tab Geeks. I've been doing this a while, and I am a little bit more broad in other areas of not just Ubiquiti, but I think, don't tell the other vendors, but I'm pretty sure Ubiquiti is my favorite. So I'm excited to be here and excited to schmooze with you guys.
Awesome. And then we have Clay from DPC, which is his first ever live stream. So welcome into the live stream world. I remember when I first did my live stream, there was myself and that was it in the whole channel. So it's probably a little bit better when he's got some other people commenting in his chats. So go ahead, Clay.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. First time. DPC Technology, Clay Archer. I am a MSP, meaning we do IT for businesses. We are in Northeast Florida, although we have locations all over the Southeast United States. Been a long time Ubiquiti user. Started off way back in the AirCam days doing video installs, CCTV installs, and then started using their WAPs and been doing them ever since. Been doing Unify videos probably for almost 10 years now. So anyways, that's me.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, Unify Video, that's a sticky point for a lot of people. They got really mad when it switched over to the Unify Protect side of things, but change is inevitable. You need to upgrade your stuff, and it had a long lifespan. So now you just can't run it on your own hardware. That's the only issue.
Yep, and I rode that train. I was on that was one of the compelling reasons that we started using it back in the day, but that went away, and we moved on.
Awesome. Well, I don't know what we're going to do here. Are we going to do questions, or do we want to take comments?
Let's kick off with a few questions first. Okay. So
I'll let you drive that, Monty.
While people are strolling in, let's see. There's a question. Actually, let me go with this one. Let's start off with a big one. So, what do you think your most underrated Ubiquiti product is at the moment?
Oh no. I'll let someone else answer first. Go, Jesse. You're good.
I'll take it off. I want to say the UNAS lineup, because there's a lot of competition in the MVR space, or not MVR, in the network attached storage, the NAS space, and there's a lot of expectations where everybody's like, oh, it has to run 85 different apps, and it has to have Plex built in and included and all. Oh, I can't say that word, can I? I don't want to get banned for teaching people how to do things they're not supposed to do. But they want it to do so much. I'm like, dude. No, like, sure, maybe they'll get there one day, but right now it hosts apps here in the studio or here in the office, wherever you may be, and it does it, not apps, sorry, storage, does that really, really, really well, and it's only continuing to improve from there. It's already come a long way since it came out, and I'm a huge fan of the product and a huge fan of the updates that they just made to the lineup as well.
Yeah, I think I agree on some of that. The most underrated, Door access really was at the beginning, but they've really changed and grown. I would say that used to be very underrated. I mean, and it's amazing now. Like, people are installing it all the time. We're installing it a lot. I don't really know, other than that, what would be underrated compared to like really good. Like, Unify Talk is really good, but they do need to add some stuff. It's probably underrated for a reason right now, just because we don't have a lot of functionality with it. So I'm going to go with door access.
I'm going to go. That's a tough question. It's not my favorite, but most underrated. From the camera lineup, I will say, I was just doing a review on the new one. I would say the AI 360 is a really underrated camera. I was reviewing that. I was like, man, this is really an amazing camera. And I will say their new lineup of sensors. I think for anybody that has really gone down the rabbit hole of Home Assistant and Zigbee and that kind of stuff, you realize how nice it is just to plug something in and it work. Now, obviously, it's a little bit more expensive than buying something from, the off-brand from China or whatever. But, man, it's just kind of like Apple. Like, you just plug that stuff in and it works. And there's nothing more annoying to me than some obscure container database no longer being supported on one of the 4 or 5 programs you have to do to make that kind of stuff work in the real world. And I think Ubiquiti has a huge opportunity just to kill that space with a bunch of neat sensors, and the sky's the limit for them going forward. So I right now, I think it may be early days in that, but it's underrated for how easy that's going to make it for your mother, your sister, your brother to just install that and use it.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I mean, the SuperLink stuff, it needs to be built out more right now, but there was the, I think they showed it in their video, so I'm just going to mention it, and, if I get in trouble, I get in trouble, but it was like it kind of looks like the Enterprise Access Hub with all the relays in it, and I believe that's to tie into existing motion sensors or window or door contact entry. So it's gonna, like, my house is all pre-wired already. Ubiquiti doesn't have wired sensors. So if I wanted another option, like I could just buy a 25 cents open entry, I could just plug into that and get their whatever they're gonna call that hub. So I think the sensors are I hope they blow up like really well, do really well. And now it's into Inside Wire's most underrated.
Let me throw a spanner in the works for all of you. So my most underrated products, obviously I wrote these questions, so I've obviously thought about my answers already. So I think my most underrated one has got to be the U7 Lite.
Oh, yeah.
So $99, Wi-Fi 7 access point. I know people will come for you saying doesn't have 6 gigahertz, but show me a general use case or a quite generic use case that needs more than a gig throughput, because I was getting a gig throughput when I was testing it with Wi-Fi 7. So for $99 for an access point like that, and it has a decent coverage on it. I almost want to say at one point the lights used to be more popular for coverage than, I'm talking the U6 days. So I'm talking a little while ago, the U6 Lite used to have a really good range on it.
Funny you mentioned that one, Monty. I did my UDB testing today, and I've got kind of this video where I've got 3 or 4 things going at once. But the UDB switch in my parking lot with the new G6 turret, Pro turret, and it's a pretty long ways. And I'm like, I have an E7 WAP in the middle of my office, and guess which WAP it adopted to? That little light, man. And it's screaming, man. And it's doing a great job. I was going to go back in and change the configuration on it, but I was like, man, for $99, man, that thing's just, and the video is perfect and streaming from that camera. So anyways.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was getting a gig throughput when I was doing some testing, and
for $99. Yeah.
You can't complain. Can't complain.
That's a great answer. And to be fair too, those things are going out there by the millions too. Like that device is going in every, coffee shop and house and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was saying this during my last stream, is I want to see that, but in the U6 mesh, the soda can form factor. Yeah. That was my favorite. Where's the update to that? Now everything else has gone U7. That was like, I would keep that in my backpack just for emergencies. Keep one in the car, keep one in the gear kit. Like I just, anytime you need an AP, it's 360 degrees spread and absolutely fantastic. It's obviously PoE, and it was also, it was not as affordable as the U7 Lite, but for something that can work for pretty much every situation, totally awesome. So I really hope they bring that back.
I think they were outdoor rated too, right?
Yeah, and they were outdoor rated. Yeah.
That was
literally, it's like everything you could need it.
Yeah. We put them by pools, we put them everywhere, and they were great APs. I don't know if they're ever gonna update them to come out with the new U7 stuff. Wi-Fi 7 is a little bit more difficult because all the regulations for outdoor use. But it would be nice to see it in that form factor for sure.
Is that the old one's on Black Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
It's on Black Friday.
I mean, up until a few months ago, I was still running the AC Pro, and that's there.
Oh, wow.
And the AC Pro, I was getting at least 300 to 400 megabits per second throughput, which again, Netflix, streaming, like browsing the web.
Most people in their homes don't need more than that. It's the people who are watching this live stream right now who are more tech enthusiasts who want to buy everything brand new when it comes out the day of. Like myself, I used to do that until I started getting some stuff sent to me, but we don't need it, but we want it, right? Like I don't need the Ubiquiti 42U rack in my basement right now, but it's sitting there. So it all goes with what you want. Some people like to buy cars. I like to buy network gear.
Yeah, I think I should rename my channel just like Overkill Everything.
Exactly.
And I think that's why we're in this space, because we have that FOMO, right? We want it day one. I want that 10 gig access point in my house. Like, do I need it? No. But do I want it? Yes, obviously.
Absolutely.
100%.
Do you want to have a look for some questions, Cody, or anybody in the chat?
Yeah, we could look for some questions. I know some people did have some. Let me just see here. I won't be able to pull it up on screen, but I will read some questions off here. Cyberdog, hello. Gotwire, hello. Let's just see. Audio is good. Thank you. What is the product you're anticipating the most? I want an alarm hub so bad, door access with some professional monitoring. I think that is pretty close to mine, and more on the access side. So what I would like to see is some actual wired or wireless locks, door locks and stuff like that. So if you look in the space for access control, you have like Salto is pretty big. They're big in hotels and other chains, but we don't really have those type of wireless locks that they're battery operated, but it's great for co-working spaces. They have open glass, so it's like not super high security. I think I'd like to see that. That is probably my most anticipated thing right now. So I'll let whoever else wants to jump in on that.
You know me, it's going to be that 180 cam or the new I don't know what it's called there with the 4 cameras, the 360 ultra,
What is it called?
The AI multi-sensor.
Yeah, multi-sensor. Yep.
Multi-sensor, yeah. Those two, obviously, I'm dying to get my hands on either of those.
Yeah, that's awesome. Jesse?
I want the new doorbell.
Okay.
The G6 Pro, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
that and the rest of the Superlink lineup, but
of course. Well, the G6, the nice thing about the Pro one, that actually integrates with Access with the little directory and stuff like that. So that would be on my list as well. And we'll go with you, Monty.
So I'm gonna play because I was trying to look at the questions. Is it just what product we want over the next little while?
I think it's like your most anticipated product, I guess.
Okay.
I guess it could be any time or something.
Is that stuff we're allowed to talk about or stuff that we're not allowed to talk about?
Something that you're dreaming about. So, like, if you know about it and it's not released, I wouldn't say anything about that. But if there's a product that, like, I would like new physical phones with physical touch buttons. That's something that I would like. Do I know it's coming? No, but that's I want something like the Flex phone, or you could, or if it's like publicly available, then you could,
just publicly available. Okay, fine. You guys have kind of taken them all, really. That AI multi-sensor is going to be an interesting one. I think that's my most anticipated product at the moment. I want the Superlink stuff, but I think once it's a complete set, then it's going to be a bit more interesting to play around with. While the sensors are coming in one at a time, it's still good. I mean, obviously we want to get our hands on them and play with them and see what they can and can't do, but you kind of want the complete set, right? So it's when you're getting everything set up that you want the complete set to get it working as you want it to be.
For sure.
So definitely the multi-sense is going to be the big one. And I'm looking, there was another camera that I was looking at.
So the G6 180.
Yeah, I think
that's going to be a huge killer for, that
we only have to wait a few days. It's supposed to be coming out this month, right?
Right.
Fingers crossed.
It'll be
guys, so if the 4 of us are saying that we don't know if it's coming out this month, we don't know if it's coming out this month.
Yeah.
The website says available November 25. So just keep holding your breaths. Just don't hold your breath too long because we want you all to survive.
Yeah.
Exactly. I guess I could read. I'll kind of just jump on a couple of these questions here. It's kind of more of a one word answer. They're asking when Unify Retro Hub will be released. I have no idea when that's going to be released. It was supposed to be last month, and it's still not out because I could use a ton of those. And then I don't know if this really would go towards play or not, because you don't do contract work, right? Or you guys are just MSP. You don't do hourly.
Yeah, we don't do project work.
Okay, so they're asking do you bill by project, hourly, or resell to your customers? So. Or you would do MSP rates and you'd monthly.
We do we'll do a project for somebody and we build out the whole systems, but we don't do that unless they are willing to go on a managed service monthly contract afterwards.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. I mean with me, I'm not an MSP. I just do break fix. So I would bill by project or hourly. It just depends on if it's for configuration, I'm going to just charge hourly. But if it's a project and I'm doing we have an upcoming plastic surgeon clinic, we're going to install everything, do all the cabling, network, audio, video, and all that type stuff. So that will be billed by the project. Jesse, do you do contract work?
I do, yeah. So for install type stuff, I also do by the project. I don't resell the Ubiqiti hardware because a lot of the folks that I'm working with already have and are familiar with, and they're like, why are you uppricing me on something I can just go to the website and get it myself? I know that there are some distributors you can work with, but everybody, has their own system that they have to work inside of. For break fix like you, Cody, there's an hourly rate, or sometimes it's on regular customers of mine where they'll say, hey, we're trying to install this and it's not working, or we're setting up a Starlink with the Ubiqiti. I know that you're an expert on that. How do you make that happen? So for those types of things, usually either on a retainer that I already have with the company, or it's hourly.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
It's a good point, and it's kind of the question leads to this, and probably the thing that I am most excited about coming forward is their new MSPs or installer based initiatives, right? Where it's
Right.
going to be easier for us to manage. It's going to be easier for us to maybe get margin as a reseller. I think that they are, and I know nothing about any of these things, but I can tell over the last 6 months they are starting to focus on, hey, we need to work on these channels of distributors, installers, MSPs, and they are making a really hard push into those markets, which I think are going to be very lucrative for them. I think there's a lot of money to be made for them if they, have the whole channel behind them pushing their stuff. Because what Jesse said about the not being able to get margin, you don't want to go to somebody and say, hey, it's $250 for something they can get for $200.
The biggest thing for me with that too, like it's not, I mean, yeah, you can mark up your product a little bit, whatever, but it's the holding of the warranties. So if I work for a customer and we part ways, well, I still have their warranty for all their gear. So it'd be nice if there was a way to push that over to a customer when you're buying the product directly. Usually we just get the company to purchase it. And if they're adamant about me purchasing it all for them, we're gonna have to put a markup on it because it takes time to look through all that gear.
Yep.
And then
Do you guys have any questions from your chats?
Yeah, I've got one that I thought was pretty good, and it's apropos because I've watched all your videos on it, and I'm currently doing a video on it. Can you speak about the new device bridge items? How would you deploy? Are they omnidirectional, such that need to be aimed, or just a wide spray? How well does the signal penetrate structures? I can start off by saying, just continuing on that, I've got a UDB switch inside of the Flex Utility Pro box on a light pole, and it's probably 40 feet from my access point through a brick wall, and it's jamming, just jamming. I did on the UDB and the UDB Pro, if you saw my videos on those, the previous ones, I went as far as I could line of sight go, even beyond line of sight, as far as I could go, which was probably about a mile with those, almost a mile, and still had I had loss of signal, but I was still strongly able to run cameras on them. So the system is really cool. I have not tested the small one. I saw both of you guys, or all three of you guys, were playing with the new small one. What do you guys say?
Jesse, I'll let you go first because you have the video out for it right now. So I'll let you speak on it first.
Yeah, I actually got yelled at in the comments because I didn't really range test it all that much. Sorry, everybody. I'll do better in the future. But I had a lot of questions in the comments also saying, oh, this would be perfect if it did PoE. And it's like, well, that product came out already. That one was first. That's just the device bridge. That has PoE. And it does the same thing. No, it's not as teeny tiny, but it does do that same thing. I think it's going to be really interesting with the IoT is specifically because the folks that this is made for are dying for this. The big, massive equipment, machinery, things like that. Large format printers is something that I've dealt with in the past and I talked about in my video. Those people are like, oh my God, yes, thank you. I'm so glad that you built this. A lot of other people are going, this is an underpowered, teeny tiny little, why would you even bother? And it's like, there's going to be the two sides of the aisle. And yeah, I think we're going to have to range test these. And I think now that I think the whole lineup is out, and there wasn't anything more announced of these in the teaser videos, was there?
I think that was it. I'm pretty sure, unless anybody else knows anything.
I'm sure they have more tricks up their sleeve, but yeah, that's everything we know about.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you have a video out about it too, don't you?
I do. Yep. It's a good little device. I think what Jesse said is kind of right. I mean, it's a good little device. People, they'll immediately jump to the negatives generally, as we generally see within YouTube. It's like, oh, it's only 2.4 gigahertz. Well, there's other devices. Go look at the range. It's just one of those things. But for $49, it's one of those devices. You can plug it in, away you go. If you've spent $100,000 on a machine and you need to spend $50 to make it Wi-Fi, it's a no-brainer, really.
Well, when you're doing industrial, like if you're going to, we've done a lot of car plants that are doing stamping for the stamping plates for the actual aluminum sides. To run cables to those machines, it is a nightmare. So having these devices, even if it's a congested 2.4 gigahertz, inside the plant, it's still going to have enough connectivity to be able to speak to and run commands to. So it's going to cost a couple $100 minimum per cable run, or you just get one of these and you just plug it in, and that's it. So
the other big use case for it to me that I've seen is big property, or you've got a campus, like the ability to have, who was it that just did one? There's a bunch of people that have done videos on how they use the device bridge to go to a garage or go to a barn or go to a mother-in-law suite or a she shed or whatever it is. They're just going to be epic for that. Or if you've got a big ranch and you want to go miles with these, they'll go miles. And or you just have a big campus and you got a piece of equipment here, a piece of equipment there. They're going to be huge for that.
Yeah, now that these are all out, the Device Bridge Pro Sector and Pro, I have access to a property. It's 400 acres up in the mountains. And to your point, you don't want to run cable or even fiber in the ground. We've done that. A lot of the networks, I've built the whole network out there, and there's distribution points and there's actual fiber in the ground. And because it's up in the mountains and people don't look before they dig, the fiber cable has been taken out by a backhoe more times than I want to admit, because it means, getting somebody up there and rerunning the cable. But with these, there's a couple of old UEBs that are still operating up there that I would replace with the Device Bridge Pro. And so I think I'm going to have to schedule a trip to go out there and test a whole bunch of things, because I actually never did a video on the Device Bridge Pro because I was rebuilding my studio when it came out. So I should go and do like a whole range testing, because that's serious range there. I did the U7 Pro outdoor test there, I think, or just the outdoor, and I was getting 800 feet away, 1,000 feet away. I was getting some serious connectivity over across a field and a lake, and it was fantastic. So
I think the one person, I'll just speak on this quickly. He's another YouTuber. I don't know if this is who you're talking about, Clay, but it's Lars Klint.
Lars.
He's got the farm.
He's got the farm. He's done a bunch of range tests on those, and his videos are very interesting. He makes it fun, and he has got all like the access gate controls and stuff like that. So go check him out. I'll put his link in my chat, and then most people will probably know who he is as well. But
I was actually thinking of Techno Tim and Chris.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Chris from Crosstalk just did one on a vacation rental, and Techno Tim did one of his garage last year. And both of those, I was like, I think the UDP switch is just an all-in-one, baked in. Just hey, I just put it here, done. You've got a 10 gig switch with uplink, and it's just. Really
it's going to be best for me. We don't do it. I think I mentioned in my video, but we don't do residential anymore because it's just a pain for cameras or for pretty much anything. But to do cameras, throw this in somebody's garage, and then from the garage you could go into their soffit and you can put cameras all around their house, and it's easy. It's not going to be difficult at all anymore.
Yeah, we installed it this morning, and I thought that was going to be a whole day project, and Daniel was going to. They just went up there, turned it on, boom, 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 couple clamps to put it on the pole, and it was done.
Yeah, that's really awesome. We'll just have to see how it does through Canadian winters, right? But the other switches do well, so I can't see why this wouldn't as well.
Yeah, and it's that Flex Utility Pro box, man. That thing's bullets. I mean, I don't know it's gonna stop Canadian winter, but
probably not. You have to get some sort of heater put in there. There are NEMA boxes with heaters in it if you have power to, obviously you're going to have power to power the switches up. But I haven't used one of those boxes yet, the Pro boxes. They look nice. We're going to do it at another gate.
You might need to go a little bit more north, Cody.
Well, it's very cold where I am. We're an hour north of Toronto. My mom, she lives 3 hours north of Toronto. So maybe we'll go there and then a little bit above.
So not going. Well, maybe we can try Winnipeg. That's a little bit more north. Right?
Yeah, I'm okay. That's too cold. I'm good.
So I'm just looking through my chat comments, and there's one product that I completely forgot about, which I think a lot of us are waiting for, is the UNAS 4. I think a lot of people are waiting for that one. Another one that says Q4, which is coming. So that's one.
If you're waiting on the 4, just go with the 8. It's out right now. Go ahead, use any one of our links and purchase it if you want to support us. But I actually haven't done a video on it. It is sitting in my rack, but right now my main one is the UNAS 2. So I probably need to switch off that to something a little more heavier powered.
I'm getting ready to do the 4, or no, the 8. Sorry.
It's a good point on the 4. Like, why would you do the 4 over the 8? With the RAID options that you have available in the system, I think that the 8 just kind of makes more sense. Even if you're only going to use 4 drives in the beginning, I probably would just go with the 8, just so that I have options. And a good NAS like this is going to sit over there for 5, 6, 7 years. You just kind of you future proof yourself with the 8. What's the price difference between the two?
So the Pro, I was just looking at the Pro 4 is $499 and the Pro 8 is $799. So,
yeah,
and then your hard drives, which will kill you.
$499, yeah, $499 is cheap. Yeah, man.
Well, it's Black Friday.
Hard drives and RAM this year, man. God, it's not like a typical year where you're just stocking up on all of it. It's like you gotta have massive coin to put big drives and things now.
Oh, for sure.
Blame,
I think
blame AI.
But AI's for the RAM stuff, but I think I only have 2 terabyte hard drives in my NASs. I need to upgrade those a little bit.
Yeah.
So the AI stuff is also for drives, because they're storing all of this amount of data for all the models to train on. And I've seen like several of the providers have their entire supply just bought out by all the hyperscalers.
So not a good time to build a PC.
No,
really, no.
And I put a bunch of 18 terabyte drives in my ENVR, and they were cheap, and one of them went bad, and you don't even want to see what they cost for. I mean, like,
oh yeah.
I went back and I looked. I went on my Amazon history, and I was like, oh my, I shouldn't have even looked at the history of what they used to cost and what they cost now.
One other thing, I don't think it does. Somebody just asked this in the comments. Can I use the device bridge IoT with non-Unified networks? I don't think so. No, because it uses the Unify auto link. So there's no way to adopt it really, right? I guess you could have a firewall that's something different, but you're still running the network application with at least an access point from Ubiquiti to auto link up.
Right.
Yeah.
$99 U7 Lite.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing I can tell everybody on that is, just adopt the ecosystem, because a lot of the value you get out of Unify is the ecosystem, right? Like, just having one device in there that's just an off device, you're losing all the secret sauce.
You're losing the analytical stuff, and especially if you're doing like protect and access, like those integrate so nicely together. They do integrate nice with talk, but it does that need some upgrade in it. But if you have everything network talk access like your business, it's amazing how it works.
Yep.
Let's see. Does anybody else repair camera? Does anybody repair cameras such as the AI 360? That I have no idea. I've never actually been asked that. You'd probably pay more for the AI 360. They're on sale right now for Black Friday, so I would go check up on that. If you just have got moisture into the actual port, you could use I forget what they're called, but they look like what you wash your dishes with. It's like a little metal scraper type thing, and you could gently rub it on the port, and that should take the corrosion off, and it should work eventually.
Is that like a steel wool type thing?
Yeah, something like that, but it's on a stick. So I don't know how to explain it. I don't know tools that well.
It's like a pipe cleaner.
Yeah, it's like a pipe cleaner. Exactly. Yeah. That's what it is. Yep.
Yeah, I got little kids. I was like, is that the bottle washer little thing on there?
Exactly. Yeah. Anybody else have any other questions?
I'm just scrolling through some questions. So, so one they have here is, or one that's just come through. Does it make sense to mix G5 bullet cameras with G6 model bullet cameras? Is it better to move entirely towards the G6 range? I mean, for me personally, what suits the scenario, right? So if that scenario needs, or that location needs the G5, then you can keep it there. If it's meeting your requirements, perfectly fine. You can leave it there. If you want to move to the G6 range and you want those additional maybe AI features or something else that you're looking for, then yeah, you can go for it. But there's no harm in mixing them.
I think that's one of the biggest advantages of the whole ecosystem. And for all of us that are doing project work and implementation, there's budgets. And so, and I don't know if we're going to ask this, what our favorite thing is. One of my favorites is that G5 Turret Ultra. It is just, and it's the reason they put it in that the ENVR kit is because dollar for value, If you do not need advanced AI detections, or if you already have an AI key or some other cameras that are going to do the AI for you, most of the time you just want to see somebody walking through the scene, right? Like you don't need to do license plate detection in your backyard. And if you just want a nice, easy, simple camera, small, beautiful image, I just did an install at my brother-in-law's house where he had a G6 turret and the G5 Ultras, and I'm like, I really, other than the AI, I mean, it is a newer device and it's definitely a nicer device, and it's only $70 more. But man, those G5 turret Ultras are just really awesome cameras for $129, and the ability to mix and match where you can put a $500 camera next to a $120 camera next to a wireless camera and do what works for the situation. And if you've got areas where you need face and license plate detection, by all means, do the fanciest cameras. And if you need zoom or you need pan or you need any of that stuff or 360, do that. But mix and match, because just looking down a hall to see if somebody's going down a hall, it's do the G5 Turret Ultra and put it in hallway mode, and bam, you're good to go.
Oh yeah, they're great. The one thing they are missing, and hopefully they listen, I told them before, we need some solar cameras. What's going on with 5G attached to them? There's so many places. Like we're working on a project right now, and it's for a new build house. Even though I said I didn't do residential, we do new houses, and they don't. There's no internet. It's in the wild. So to be able, we had to use something else, but they need to be able to see how the construction phase is going, if people are going to be stealing, and that's solar. You need to have some sort, even though solar cameras aren't the best, at least there's something on property to be able to watch what's going on that property.
Yeah, I've done Wise and Reolink for those, for the wireless, the cellular, solar. But to echo what you guys were saying on the cameras, I always tell people go with the most expensive, highest quality, highest features that you can afford for the project, because you're investing in this now. And yeah, they're less expensive than a lot of the other enterprise cameras that are out there, but you're not going to want to necessarily upgrade that particular camera for a while. And this tech is moving fast. So similar to with processors for a long time, when you're buying a computer, you want to put in the upfront cost now, because that's going to be up there for a while. That being said, they have built out the lineup so much that there is so many different options for so many different scenarios that it's not like it used to be where you had to just pick and choose, okay, I'll do last generation or this generation because I need these few things. I'm going to use a 180-degree camera. I'm going to use a 360-degree camera. I'm going to use a PTZ. I'm going to use a PTZ in combination with some of the turrets. Like, it's so versatile of how you can utilize all these different form factors that if you put some real thought into it, you can optimize your system for this. And the best thing about it is, as long as you're buying a the NVR that is powerful enough to handle multiple cameras. So if you have something smaller, maybe not, and you want to stick to the lower end, go for it. But that's what those are there for. But if you have something larger where you are able to have lots of different cameras on there, you can start with the basics where you cover your corners, and then you use them for a couple of months and go, oh, I really can't see there. That's a blind spot. Or, oh, I really want to see how somebody comes around that corner, or use some of the more AI advanced features for those. And you can keep adding those as time goes on.
Yeah, of course. And the one thing, I guess, while we're still on cameras, I hope they do cameras. This is come out with like a UNVR Instant Pro. So they have, PoE Plus, or I don't even know. They come out with something else that has a little bit more capacity, just so we could run those higher end cameras. I mean, obviously you still can if you have your own switch, but if you're going into a house, it's one of the best things that they've come out with recently, I think.
Yep.
And the fact that they threw in the viewport there is just clutch.
Yeah. And put 2 drives in it too while you're doing it.
Oh, yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they could make money, huge money. They could sell it in Costco. Away you go. Now everybody's on Ubiquiti.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a couple questions that people wanted me to answer. I already know what our answers are going to be, but do we have any idea if they have plans on expanding the UNAS to have Docker? So my answer is no. They're never going to have Docker. I don't. Maybe they will in the future because of push, but I think they're going more for raw storage and things like that. A couple things that I would like to see to compete with some other places or some other competitors would be like backing up a full system, like a computer system or your email systems, and that's pretty much it. I wouldn't expect them to have something like Docker on it. What are you guys' thoughts?
I partially answered this earlier when I said that a lot of people want it, and they're not there yet. They might get there. I think it's possible on the highest end pro models, as you're talking about this becoming maybe more like a proper business, server to run smaller applications on it. But to my point earlier, I just wanted to get more powerful on doing file share and doing that really well. They're now integrating better with some of the identity stuff that I've seen out there. And, I think it's just really, really powerful in that area. Is it possible? Anything is possible with them.
It just doesn't make any sense from just the setback into your design of it. If you want something hyper converged, it's going to be super expensive. I run an HL15. That was a $4,000 chassis, right? Before I even put a hard drive in it. But doing everything hyper converge on one machine is kind of dumb in one way, because I've got 10 gig networking on these things now, probably going to 25 at some point, right? Like if I want compute, get compute, and I can get cheap compute, and I can just link it to it, and it will make no difference to your performance whatsoever with these these fast drives, fast offboarding. They've got cache, NVMe cache. There really is no reason that you need to put your Docker containers or your Proxmox or whatever you want to put on it on the UNAS. It doesn't. If that's your use case, you are already going to buy an HL15, and you already know that. But 99.99% of the people out there are not going to run their network that way. So it doesn't make sense. We've been spoiled because the other brands have put these apps on there, but the dirty little secret is all those apps are woefully underpowered on those machines, right? So if you're really serious about buying a Pro HD8, right, like our Pro and a UNAS Pro 8, if you're that serious about getting a really nice NAS, you're going to be serious about your compute, and you don't want to run it like you would run it off of Synology. I'm sorry to name Synology there, but that's who I'm coming after. You're going to put your compute off board. You're going to put your Docker containers. You're going to do your thing, and it's going to be fast.
I agree.
Yeah, I think you guys have pretty much covered it all, so I won't say anything else. You've covered all the check boxes. But yeah, I think the on-prem stuff, so Office 365, Windows backup, Mac backups, whatever it is, those kind of things that are what people are looking for, and it's one of those things. For a bit, if you're targeting a business, they're the selling points of them. So it's one of those things that, okay, let me bring in this NAS drive. It will do this, X, Y, and Z. It will take your copies. It will restore, etc., etc. Oh, here, link it with your Active Directory. Okay, done. So it just makes it a lot easier, right? So from that side of things.
One other thing they need to work on there, and this is a big one, especially for businesses. I've got multiples, but I have 3 of the original UNASs, and the ability to sync between them. To buy one, put it in your office, buy a second one, put it off site, and say, replicate these 2, just make them be identical. That should be a click of a button and just a normal feature. And, with all of their one-click VPN, one-click this, one-click that, I think that's a feature that's missing at this point.
Hopefully it's coming. I mean, because doing backups is pretty easy, but you want to have it replicate. That's a whole nother step, right? I think that would be something people have brought to them, and hopefully they implement it within the, probably 2026, I would think.
Yeah, I'm sure they're working on it.
Yeah. One other thing I had, which is going to be, we're all going to be kind of different on this, but what's your opinion on lack of stock? For me, so anything I need to go do business-wise pretty well is in stock. The out of stock things for me is typically the brand new stuff, like the entry sensor, and that's going to be out for a while. And that's typical of how Ubiquiti is. People will they'll buy as many as they can, and they'll be sold out. Like it just happens. It's been happening for years.
For me,
go ahead.
I think you've kind of, again, there's not too much you can say on this. I mean, it's out of stock. You read a lot of comments, like we all do. Obviously, we read our own videos. We go through Reddit. We see what's going on. But people tend to compare them to bigger companies like Apple and Microsoft. I mean, these guys have been in the game for years. I'm not saying Ubiquiti haven't, but they have their own factories, they have their own supply lines, they probably have their own planes that bring their cargoes to each country. Like that's the kind of logistical level that they're working on. So to compare, I know Ubiquiti aren't a small fish in the sea; they're a big fish. But to compare something like that, it doesn't make it. It's not one of those things. Like if you go and look, in fact, let's just take the iPhone for example. You go and order it on day one, you're already waiting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks for your next one. But I think that kind of leads me to the second point. Is that's probably what people want. They want that pre-order system. But how long do you want to wait for a product?
Yeah, the pre-order thing, I people have brought up a lot before, but I don't know. Then it's kind of a waiting game. It's kind of like when they have a release date Q4. Well, your pre-order is just going to get pushed back and back and back and back and back, right? So I don't know if that would be a good look. It's hard to say. The years and years ago during 2020, we all know the stock issues. They were horrible, but that wasn't just Ubiquiti. It was literally everybody. I don't find it an issue for myself, but it really depends what you're looking at getting.
Yeah, I was going to say it used to be much worse. Sorry, Clay. It used to be significantly worse getting this, and to your point, Cody, it was everybody. Cisco had like a year lead time on certain orders for some of the things that they were doing. And I'll also say, as for the new products, I don't think Ubiquiti is 100% to blame. And I've talked to some other folks in the industry about this, and there's issues with, we had a government shutdown for a month and change. The customs, importers, certifiers were not running. So anything that needed to be certified, like a radio or electrical, like none of that stuff was actually being stamped. Yes, it's approved. You can now release this product. And so I imagine that they're also up against that. Now that's, again, relatively recent, but it's in this global world ever since COVID, things have been pretty funky as things are getting manufactured and moved. And to your point, Monty, Apple does actually have entire fleets of planes that they buy out around launch day that do fly those planes overnight to where they need to go. So yeah, Ubiquiti will get there eventually.
I usually judge it for me by how many alerts I'm putting on the Ubiquiti in stock Discord server. And I haven't been putting a lot in lately, to tell you the truth. I think for me, at the MSP level, they stock most of their enterprise stuff pretty well, or their higher end stuff pretty well. For me, it's usually just an odd or an end, and I put one in every once in a while. And 3 or 4 days later, I get an alert. I buy the item. It's not been where I'm waiting for something for months. I do know that there were certain things like the AI key or the rack, those kind of things where they went on sale and then they were sold out, and then they were sold out for a long, long time. But that just, they're selling some popular stuff, and they're doing a good job, and people want their stuff. So I'm sure they're doing all they can do to manufacture as much of whatever they can sell as they can produce.
Well, speaking about the racks, I think they came out with new variants of the racks. So there's different depths. There's different instead of getting glass door, you could get like that mesh door. So I think we'll see more stock in. I believe you could buy them right now as well. I just wish they came out with like a 25U half rack for my basement. It'd be a lot easier to manage.
So they have a picture on their website, right, of a half rack.
Has that been there for a while, or is that?
It's been there. So it disappeared for a little while, and then it came back again. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Let me see if I can quickly show this. 1 second.
The racks are a really good build. Like that plastic surge in place we're putting in a 42U glass panel Ubiquiti rack. Everything's going to be Ubiquiti. It's going to be filmed, so it's going to be a great build out. Lots of Unify access and cameras and stuff like that. I just want to build one out fully like you did, Clay. I know it was kind of in your staging area, but it just looks amazing. Oh yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
So that's been on there. So it disappeared for a little while, and then it came back. So that's something I think a lot of people would be interested in.
Oh yeah, like that'd be huge for small business. It would be massive for home users. I mean, the little toolless mini rack, it's all right, but you only can put really Unify gear in it. So it's for staging and deploying. Like if I'm doing a smaller customers and I just throwing in the gear there and then configuring it all. That's for me. That's what it's good for. But other than that, like we haven't deployed any to customers.
Yeah.
So I have a few more questions that people have asked. So there's two. So I will I'll go with one, and then there's a couple. We can take some others, and then we'll come back. Have you gentlemen had the opportunity to test the G6 Pro doorbell? If so, do share a little insight and let us know your impressions. And perhaps you happen to know anything about the expected price. So the only thing we can tell you on this at the moment is the fact that we saw it at the UWC. It was there. I mean, you can see the images there. In terms of playing around with it, we only got to see what was there. There wasn't anything really demoing it or showing it. It was just physically there. So impressions wise, it's definitely bigger than the doorbell light. So keep that one in mind if you are looking to install
And the
it.
doorbell light, I was shocked at how big it was. I thought it was like a traditional little doorbell with the camera in it. It's still like a good size for a house, but when I first saw it at UWC, I'm like, holy crap. And I still have it on my house right now. I will eventually be switching back to the Pro, or I might wait till the new G6. So yes, none of us have that one. Price point, we'll know the price when you guys know the price, pretty much.
You have to also factor in that it has an access reader in it as well, right? So that's definitely going to bump up the price.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't expect it to be anything. It would definitely be a lot more than the existing doorbell, I think. That's just my speculation. But yeah, I don't expected prices. We'll be pulling a price out of the air at this point.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it. As we said before, it's overkill for a house, but some of us are going to do that anyway because that's why we're here. Did get hands-on at the conference in Miami, and it looks really, really nice. But it is Ethernet only, similar to the doorbell light. And unlike the previous Pro, I said this in my video, I don't have Ethernet to my door. I have low voltage and Wi-Fi, and this is going to be a problem for me until I can figure out how to run a new cable through Stone.
Time to cut. Oh yeah, through stone. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Do you have on the inside of your door? Is it drywall?
It is, but because of the way, like, there's so many. This house was built in stages over the years by people who I think did some of this stuff, like, hokey by hand DIY type thing.
Yeah.
There's a room that it's our pantry, but I'm pretty sure that room wasn't originally there. We recently just took out a built-in unit that was in there, and there's zero insulation in the walls. And every time we take something off or open a panel or look for something, it's like, oh, there's more hokey random crap that they did. And it's just like, my doorbell right now is running on phantom power from the universe. Like, I don't know where it's plugged in. I can't find it. It's just the ether.
Some transformer connected down at the bottom by a light switch somewhere.
Yeah, sure.
I've got no input on doorbells. I don't do doorbells. It's the one thing in the ecosystem that I don't. Never done one.
But do you not have one at your place?
I live in a condo.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess condos they wouldn't have it. Yeah. Interesting.
So the final thing I would probably add on this is the fact that you need to realize that that doorbell is actually listed under Wi-Fi access as well. It's not listed under security cameras. So
yeah, it's not under
I'm not trying to give you a hint in any way or anything that's coming because I don't know. So let me just state that clearly from the start. But maybe they might look to expand the G6 lineup on the doorbell side and then keep that as the Wi-Fi access side. Yeah. So just keep that one in mind.
Let's see. You had another one, right?
You can go for it. You can take another one.
I'm still searching through mine. So go ahead.
Okay. So we have a question about the AI key. Do you think the AI key will improve with the AI? Do you think the AI will improve with the AI key over time? Is that something UI works on, or is this set in stone? So anything with Ubiqiti, regardless of what it comes out with and whatever state it is, they are constantly working on it in the background. And one thing I will say, and I think I've said it multiple times on my streams, they read everything, right? You post something online, they would have read it. Or maybe someone within Ubiqiti, it might not be the person that makes all the decisions, but somebody would have read it. And they are trawling the forums and they know what they're looking for. So if you have any feedback or something, leave it there and they'll be sure to pick it up.
Yeah, or do a feature request, like what a lot of people they'll want a feature, and what you have to do in the community forums, you just put like in brackets feature request, and then kind of your title, and then in the description saying what you want. 99% of the time, Ubiquiti, you'll see UI team or whatever answer below that and say, thanks for the idea. We're going to push it off to our dev team and see what could come for it. Or if they know that it's coming in a future firmware, they'll actually let you know right away.
I always use the G4 PTZ as my example here. I bought that before I was in the Unify Creator. Bought it for $18.99 or $1,800. Put it on the wall. I was like, this does nothing, and I was like, this is no bueno. And over the years, they just kept adding and adding and adding. Where it's one of my favorite cameras that I've ever had out there. And that's just true of Unify. They will put stuff out there. Another thing about them, and I think the NASs were a perfect example of this, and it was, you mentioned it before about everybody wanting other features, is they usually wait. No, I say they usually, especially with the NASs, they waited and waited and waited to do that until they did it right. I felt like they could have done that earlier, and they don't send stuff out until it's done to the point where they're going to release the features that they're going to release on it. So they won't. Sometimes they hold things back. They have features that they would. I feel this way. I don't know this to be true. I feel like they have some features they want to put in things, but they don't want to ship something that's going to break or not work as intended. And so they're cautious with that, which sometimes it means that they send out things that seem a little half baked before they get out, and then you realize, oh, over time they add more and more stuff to it. I think the AI key is the perfect example of something. There's a lot of horsepower in that thing. There's a lot of potential in that thing. I think they probably only scratched the surface on it.
Yeah, I hope they do more with both. But like you were saying, they don't buy a product based off what you hope is coming out or you hear rumors of. Buy the product for the feature set that it could actually do. Like if we look at the PDU Pro page and you look at that now, probably it still probably says that we have virtual router redundancy through the PDU Pro. That's never come out, and I bet you it never will. Maybe they've taken it down now, but that's a feature set that we waited for since it came out, and that's a huge reason why I bought the PDU Pro, and it never came to. So always just buy it based on the features that are there day one when it comes out, and if they add more, that's just great, right? I know with the G4 PTZ, I think they didn't have tracking I think it was tracking at the very. There was like nothing at the beginning.
It was nothing. It was stupid.
Yeah.
On the flip side of that, though, and this I just mentioned this in my AI PTZ precision video, comparing the industrial to precision. On that decision there, if one thing has a piece of hardware in it that's the difference, you might want to go with the one that has the different piece of hardware. So like the LiDAR and the optics in the precision, you're never going to get that out of the industrial. So if you want that feature, and I think that LiDAR is another example of something they'll develop over time to have some neat stuff they can do with it, and it will get better at tracking, it'll get better at focusing, it'll get better at giving you range information and that kind of stuff. If you don't buy that sensor, you don't buy the LiDAR enabled device, you're never going to get it in the future. So there's something else to look for when you're buying.
Yeah, because I don't even think the LiDAR is supported yet, right? Or it's feature set that's coming, or
they've got lightning zoom on it, which is not enabled yet. And I'm not sure what lightning zoom. It zooms better than the industrial does already, or it focuses better than the industrial does already. But it's got this thing called lightning zoom, which I'm assuming is going to make it zoom like lightning and focus at the same time.
We hope so. Yeah. Okay. Well, we've installed one of them, but I haven't seen that, so I'm going to look at their look at it today and see if we enabled lightning zoom.
It doesn't exist yet.
Oh, it doesn't exist. Okay, gotcha.
It's just on when you go into the technical specs. It says it has lightning.
Oh, lightning zoom. Okay, perfect. I guess I got a couple here. This one's kind of okay. So thoughts on Hostify versus hosting local. So you're only going to use Hostify typically if you're an MSP and you want them to do updates and stuff like that for you. They do have a section where they do contractor stuff as well, or consulting. So they have that side of things. Hostify, like Riley, he's been around for a while. He knows his stuff. He has a pretty big team doing it there. Hosting local, you're going to have to open ports into your own local network if you're having like UXGs or something to other clients. Security wise, I'd probably just push it off to Hostify, or I would buy the Unify Cloud, which is only like $29 a month or something like that. So it depends on how good you feel about doing updates and how competent you are with that. But I don't. Does anybody else use Hostify here versus Local? Okay.
Yeah, I can talk about that. I've used both Hostify for Unify and UISP in the past, as well before Ubiquiti had Unify Cloud, and then also use Unify Cloud for certain sites where you've got a box on the roof. There's no other infrastructure there. It's a cellular connection, something along those lines, but you still need to manage it. And so that's where that's come in really helpful, as well as some of the support options that they offer. If you just want, like, you're getting your feet wet and you're doing this for work. Say you run IT for a mid-sized business or something, and you're building this out, and you're like, all right, I need some advanced help. Ubiquiti now has advanced help as well that you could get. But in the past, I've used Hostify for that and worked with their team. And yeah, they're very active and they're very involved. And actually saw a few of them at the conference in Miami. So always good to see folks that live and breathe this stuff. So I think it, like everything else, it has its place. That being said, I also prefer hosting everything at each location, given that I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit. At least I think I do. And so, it's much easier when you control everything in-house. There's one location where it was really critical because they had a lot of power issues. And I didn't want to have the really sensitive infrastructure there without enough battery to back it up. We lost Cody.
No, I'm still here. My camera does this every once in a while. Don't worry.
But essentially, it was much more helpful to have the controller for all of that be off-site. Also, it was a much larger site, so you wanted to have the processing power that you're able to have in the cloud versus the device at the time, which was not as powerful as some of the enterprise gear that they have now.
Yeah, I have not used them, but I do similar things for other functions, and I know the service well. It's a great concept, and if you want to offload that, it's a great way to do it. Either service.
I mean, you could run it yourself too, but like for us, we don't run like UXGs or anything without a network application. We're doing UDM Pros, SEs, Pro Max, all that type of stuff. So I don't need it. I do have a Hostify Instant out there just for like one vet or something, and it's just been running for forever. I'm probably gonna just tell them, like, we don't even do work for them, so I don't know. I'll probably just tell them to move to some other service so I can release that space. I had one more that, I got a couple here, but I'll just do one more and then whatever else comes up. So it was, where is it? Is there any news on the phone system talk, updates, new features, new products? As for new products, I don't know about new products. Like I said, I'd like to see physical phone buttons. I'd like to see cordless phones. If you do need that right now within Unify Talk, you'll have to use third-party phones. And it does work pretty well with third-party. As for new features, they just came out with, I think it was Unify Talk 4. So I'm going to do a video on that. I meant to do it before I went away. I forgot. So there'll be something coming up going over that kind of setup. Do you guys use Talk much?
I do. I have it at a couple of clients. I use it here in the studio. In fact, I was using my Talk phone for a video, so I actually have it here with the cordless. It is unplugged because I was using it for one of my for the what do you call it, the UDB switch over here. But we actually asked this question at the conference. There was no talk of any new devices, but they certainly seemed interested in continuing the lineup. It does not seem like it's dead, especially given as you mentioned, Cody, 4.0 is out, and it's a slower moving product, but I think it's going to be really interesting to watch as they move into how it features in and builds in with identity and the ability to do stuff on mobile and what that service looks like, because Ubiquiti across the board is still trying to figure out where they want to be as far as services that you pay extra for. They're doing it in a couple of different areas, but most of the time their whole brand has been about you buy it, you own it, and that's great. And we love them for it. And no licensing fees and just a one-time cost. But now some of these are starting to creep in simply because you need to. like with the licenses that came for using your phone to be able to your iPhone to be able to scan in for access control, like that's just passed on from Apple. That's not even from them. Like, there are costs in this modern world to provide these services, and so I think that as they figure out what the strategy is there and what part of the market they want to cover with that, then we'll see a bit more of an acceleration in that area.
I would like to see within the identity app, specifically for talk. I know SMS is like a huge thing that you gotta sign, especially in the States. You need to sign a bunch of forms, or I forget what the actual legal term is for it, and you could do it under Unified Talk. But they should have that integrated on your cell phone so that you could text people back on there, and have some sort of scheduling system. So, say you're a dentist or something like that, and you want to integrate it with your booking. They need to have that. So when my dentist, I have an appointment, I get a text, and I know it's automated, right? So they need to push stuff out like that, I think, to make it fully usable for those situations.
Yeah, APIs are going to be killer for whatever the next generation of stuff that they're building is. As they build out more capabilities for the APIs that more people and companies can build into, I think that'll be kind of the next coming of where Ubiquiti is going to go, is being able to partner up with a lot of these other groups, and that's how you get to the true enterprise players in the next level.
That's the problem. That's the problem. The reason we don't use Talk is there are already third parties that do what we do. A lot of dentists, so 75% of our clients are dentists. So what you're talking about there, Cody, is a system. It's either Weave or it's one of those, and it's all integrated already. And so It's hard for us to sell into that ecosystem when it doesn't do that. And those all have 10 years of development at this point. Like, they do a lot of features that even an API is not going to open up. And there's the same thing if you're a vet or if you're a lawyer or if you're a accountant. There are VoIP systems built for all of those instances that do a lot of neat stuff. And with AI coming on board, a lot of them are starting to do AI features as well, with routing and virtual assistants and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be hard for them to beat that kind of system.
Exactly, unless they get some really good engineers, hire some engineers coming out, and we'll see where it goes. I hope they keep at it, because I do like Talk, and I like when when you don't need those feature sets. I like how it all integrates, because typically when we're going out, we are literally doing Wi-Fi access, protect, and phone systems for people. So it all works nice together, and for them to drop it would kind of suck. So I'm praying they don't. I don't think they will, but we'll see where it goes from here.
So I had one question that. Oh, sorry, Monty.
No, go for it.
I was just going to say one of the questions from my channel here, from LK Fing, not sure how it's pronounced, asking about the UXG lineup. Is that dead? And we were talking about Hostify, and so I should have incorporated it there. But what are your thoughts on EFG and the UXGs and all that?
I think there's a place for it, because there's some people who don't like their everything baked into one device, right? So they want to have their applications running separately from their actual firewall. So I think that's where it fits, or you're an MSP. But I think like the whole MSP thing now, like you probably just want to go into the Unify Site Manager and deal with it instead of, I guess Hostify would kind of be the same thing. It's like a site manager for it. I don't think they're ever going to be dead. I think if you have a new UDM Pro model, I think they'll match it with something that doesn't run the applications with it.
Right. And I think also that if you take the example of the FedEx Forum, I'm pretty sure the UXG Enterprise exists because of the FedEx Forum, and that's a target area that they're going for, where all it does is it needs to run network, because you've got a hell of a network that you need to run there. And so you want all the resources for that to come to bear on just running network application. And then you put in something like the, dedicated for the cameras, you can put in a dedicated, what's called EMVR, etc. So that, that is also dedicated for its own thing. So I do think it has a place.
For sure. We got actually Bogdan from Apex Ones in my chat. You guys would have met him at, well, Clay wasn't there, but he says, so the chats don't sync between all the channels streaming. Does that work with this, or like?
It is if you sign in. So the way it's set up on here, it doesn't sync. So,
but aren't they doing something collaborations or like a live?
Open the co-streaming is coming soon. So I was actually going to put out in the chat, like, if you guys want to see this more often, we'd love to have Bogdan on here. He's
for sure
the one missing. So we would, if you want to see something like this, I'm not saying it's going to be every week or every month, but maybe once a quarter or something, we can do something like this where we catch up and have a bit of a chat. I also realized I know we were going to cap this at an hour. I'm okay for another 10 minutes or so. I don't know if you guys.
I could do probably another 10 minutes, and then
I don't want to put any pressure on you guys. I mean, feel free to drop if you need to. But yeah, we can take another 10 minutes and just go through some bits and kind of close up, really, if you're okay with that. Is everyone okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to ask one question. So this is, I don't think this is probably targeted to this audience, but we'll ask this question anyway. So we get a lot of opinions and comments from people online about whether it's your content or yourself or whatever it might be. What's one thing you could tell them, whether it would be about the content creation process, or even about yourself, that you wouldn't normally say? Because you don't really entertain the trolls.
I think okay, you go first, Jesse.
Very simple. Watch the damn video. Lots of comments, lots of questions. Clearly didn't watch the video.
For me, I think where I know where you're getting, it's the S word, the hated S word about people. But the thing is, like, I'll speak for myself. I do this because I like it. I enjoy it. The reasons you see majority, like 99% about Ubiquiti on my channel, is because that's what I enjoy to do. If I was going to a different brand, I'd be bored. Like I just wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't record it. I still do like network testing tools and stuff like that. I do enjoy that. I love doing the on-site. So people got to realize that if they, not if they think they could do a better job, but they should try to put themselves out there too, to get some videos out, because the more you have videos about teaching people about different technologies and things of that, the better it is for the world. So I think some people may think like, you know, we're paid to do these videos. It's like we're not. Like I couldn't even cover my mortgage with what I get paid. That's the best thing about YouTube for me, is how, like, getting clients. It's the biggest marketing for my business. But other than that, watch the videos, because some people say, "Oh, you didn't mention this." Well, you didn't get to, you know, the 3-minute marker, because my videos are only like 5 minutes. But yeah. Anyway, I'll let somebody else pick up from there.
I'll say two things here. Well, one, complaints about the thumbnails. First of all, I'm 52 years old. I don't care. You can say whatever you want. But we all ABC test those. So we put up 3 thumbnails. YouTube algorithm sees what people are clicking on. They throw them out there. The one that people are clicking on the most is the one it uses. So if you don't like the crazy faces or whatever, quit clicking on them, because that is the algorithm choosing that one. I typically do one that's very techy. I do one that's kind of crazy face, and then I'll do one that just got just a normal view of me. And the crazy face wins every time. So that's not us, that's you. So stop doing it. The other thing, and I will echo this because I think I'm the elder statesman here of this. We're all doing this because we like it. There is not the amount of time and energy it takes to do this kind of stuff. I should be doing other things with my time. I do it because I like it. And so if you think that we're making a king's ransom doing this, it's not. And every one of us could make a lot more money doing something else with our time besides this. So yeah.
100%. I agree with everything, every single one, whatever you guys have said. I think if I had to tell them one thing, I would, and I think it goes in any context really, not just with what we're doing. We're just like the person on the other side of the keyboard. We are people. We just sit behind a camera. We're not anything special. Well, you guys might be. I'm not anyway. I'm just a regular guy. We aren't the beacon of all knowledge. So what Cody said, if there's more videos out there where you can learn, like I think there's the channel 444777 where he goes really into technical detail. So if that's what you're after, that's what you're after. But it's just, there's got to be something for everybody, and I think that's the best way, the best way to look at it. But I'm just a normal guy that sits behind a camera. That's all it is. That's right.
And Bogdan actually says, kind of going to my statement about I do a lot of Ubiquiti because I enjoy it. He says there's more innovation with Unify, which is why it's interesting to cover. So back, I might have unlisted the videos, but when I first started, I did like Cisco UCS, you know, building clusters and stuff like that. It got, I mean, it would have got 0 views, not a lot of views back then because my channel wasn't that big, but it just wasn't interesting, and no one cares about that at the end of the day. And I didn't even care about it, so it does reflect it. Yeah, maybe I don't smile on camera a lot. I know I don't. I'm very, you know, my face is how it is, but I feel good about doing the video at the end of the day. And doing something like if I was to do Cisco Packet Tracer, or I was gonna, you know, whatever, name any other brand, I just wouldn't like doing it. So, and at that point, I just stopped doing it.
Linus Tech Tips, you are not, but I think that that's a good thing for a lot of people, is that they don't want to see all the time over the top. I'm very lively in my videos, but I'm also pretty lively in person. But to your point, when I first started, I did 3 years of a weekly Google Workspace exclusively show. It was only about the updates Google Workspace, started during COVID. And by the end of that, I didn't want to look at Google Workspace because it was just like it's small numbers, and it was, you know, sure, they were coming out with new things, but it was a very, very dry, very highly technical, not a whole lot of excitement. And I still do that from time to time because there's some really cool AI stuff that they're doing now, especially. But in the Ubiquiti space and some of the other, you know, tech spaces that I'm in, and Starlink, and, you know, some of the other ones, I'm doing creator gear now for Elgato and stuff like that. Like, this stuff is fun. Like, this is exciting. This is cool. I love when UPS shows up at my door, or FedEx shows up at my door, and I got a new box and I don't know what's in it, and I get to dig in, and, you know, it's like Christmas most weeks out of the year.
And I think that's what, when you first start YouTube, I think that's the big thing. You have to pick something that you're going to want to pick up and play with and enjoy and do what you want to do, because it becomes very repetitive after a while. You might think, oh, they're just churning out videos week after week, but you have to have a bit of excitement in terms of what you're doing. Otherwise, it just becomes boring.
Yeah. That for me too, I don't just do Unify stuff, although slowly but surely I've got a full-time job, so I can't produce 2 or 3 videos a week. And Ubiquiti just started putting stuff out so much. I'm like, oh, that's cool, I want to do a video on it. Oh, that's cool, I want to do a video on it. So it was kind of like the frog slowly boiling in the water. I didn't mean to be all Unify all the time, but they just kept putting stuff out, and I keep doing it. But, you know, if they slow down and they didn't put cool stuff out, you would see other stuff on my channel. It's just I'm only going to do 40 or 50 videos a year, and they make 40 or 50 really cool things every year for me to cover.
Yeah, I agree with that. And speaking on that, somebody asked about new Unify Protect products. I guess they're talking about the sensors, and they're asking about a smoke detector. I haven't seen, the only thing I've seen about a smoke detector was I think it was in their initial video of the Superlight.
Yeah.
And other than that, I haven't seen it yet. So it's going to be a waiting game if they do or don't. I mean, smoke detectors, they're kind of life-saving devices, so they're going to have to go through all that testing to make sure that they actually perform properly. And you don't need a firmware update to actually make the beeping go off, right?
Yeah, and the fact that all the regulations across the different countries, right? I know the European regulations will be relatively strict in terms of what they're looking to do.
Yeah,
but so, they've tackled some. I mean, I don't put access in professionally like Cody does, because there are some life safety issues with that. And I'm sure when they came out with access, there was a lot of, in the States at least for sure, a lot of those hoops they had to jump through to do that, because you don't want to lock people in a building if there's a fire, you know.
Exactly. You always need to make sure you have a way to exit the place. That's why we typically don't use mag locks, and we have to get fire stamps and stuff like that. So we're cutting in strikes all the time.
I'm just going to say, so there's a super chat in my comments. So big thank you, Tyler, for that one. So I appreciate it. And I think I had one more question that I was just going to find, but I've lost it now. So this one's based. I don't know if we're doing any more questions. I realize we're almost at the 10-minute mark. So do you think there is a need for a multi-sensor PTZ? Oh, and off the back of that, the comment was, thanks for doing this, fellas. Sorry, I think this one goes to Monty. Haha. So that was on the super chat. So the question was, do you think there is a need for a multi-sensor PTZ? For me, I wouldn't say there's a gap in the system. Like, we have the 360 cameras, but obviously there's only so much the 360 cameras can do. When seeing the multi-sensor camera, all the cameras were kind of at the front. So it's almost like a 180. Now, whether those move around or what happens to those, I don't know. But yeah, it's one of those things that it's going to be interesting to see when we get our hands on them. So there is a need for it. And I think there's a lot of people that are going to be interested in this model. Just what price point does it come in at?
I think it'd be cool. And I got to say, thank you, Rich, for the 5 memberships to the channel. Still don't really have a lot going on for the members, but thanks for the support. We'll probably get there in 2026. But yeah, as for I don't know if multi-sensor and a PTZ, just stick another camera on the wall, like a actual stationary camera on the wall. That's typically what we do. We'll place a PTZ and then we'll put a couple others, because if people know how PTZs work, they're just going to walk around, the image and get into your building. Maybe it would be kind of cool. I just have to see what it looks like.
Alarm Manager's really done a nice feature with that, where you can take those regular cameras and when they see something, put the PTZ right at them so that people can't game the system. But yeah. I'm going to ask a question as we're winding up here. Sure. Favorite Ubiqiti gear of all time? Oof. You had to pick one thing. What's your favorite?
Oh gosh, that is a difficult question. I'll let somebody else answer so I could think.
Yeah, I'm going to need time to think about this one. I'm just looking around my room and looking at the gear, and I'm like, oof.
Right. Single product, not like a lineup, just one.
Yep, just one.
You know what? I'm gonna say. See, the thing is, I wouldn't say of all time, but the thing that I would say was a really good buy, and it's kind of avoiding the question, was the G3 Instant when that was $29.
Yeah. Yep,
that was the camera.
I would say for me, I really like. I love the Axis stuff, but I think the product I like the most right now is either the G5 or the G6 PTZ, especially for homes. I think they are great. I mean, their software, their software is amazing for everything. But I think that is one of the best price points for a PTZ camera. Like, I don't need any. I had the industrial on my house. It looked ridiculous. I lived in a residential subdivision, and the zoom on the G6 or the G5 does it perfectly well. It tracks well. So I'm going to go with that.
I think it's a little bit of a cop-out answer, but I would have to also agree with one of the comments in my chat, Manager 463 here. The UDM SE, the Dream Machine Pro that can do it all, that enabled all of this to get started, that unlocked all of this for me, because never had I seen a single device that was able to do so many different things that I desperately needed to do in a very simple to use kind of interface, one single pane of glass, and not at ridiculous prices. So I think that's it for me.
Jesse, you were 99.99% of the way there for me. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I think this is for everybody that is starting to look at the ecosystem, and it's brand new this year, UCG Fiber.
I knew you were going to say that.
That device, because all the things that Jesse said, it's the foundation of a good, healthy system, and you can throw everything else on it. It's tiny, it's powerful. I'm deploying them all my my engineers so that they at home can go home and play with all the stuff. $279.
Yeah, without storage,
it's a great price.
Phenomenal.
It's nuts.
Yeah,
it's just nuts.
Yeah, going on what Jesse says, just one thing. When the UDM Pros came out, if anybody remembers, 1.0, you wouldn't have put it there at that time. But now that we're at 4. Whatever, I don't even know where we are anymore. They come out so often. But I think the fiber. Yeah, you're correct on that one. I would switch my answer to that, but I'll stick with the PTZs.
I'm going to throw one more in there. I'm going to throw in the UDV switch. Because
that is going to be a game changer.
That's a really good product. I think that's going to fit in so many scenarios.
How many dental offices do I have that were built in 1950 with no attic, no underbasement, and you got to put something? You have 4 computers in the back corner. Boom, solved.
Kiosks. I mean, it's going to be great. Cameras. You look at if you have a gate close enough to the house for Unify access, you can plug in there. Is it PoE++? I forget.
PoE plus.
1+.
Oh, just 1+. Okay, so you'll get a power injector and then you'll do your gate. So it's a great switch for what it is, for sure.
I did a maybe 6 months ago, I put my old UNVR. I pulled it out of when I got the NVR Pro, I orphaned it, and I was going to put it down in our Orlando office. I did put it down in our Orlando office, and it was on Protect 2. And I fired it up, and I was like, "Holy!" It was like a blast from the past. I was like, "This was garbage. This is absolute garbage." And it took me like a half a day to get that thing all the way updated. But it's just a testament to how what the development process has been at Ubiquiti over the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years. It's really just been a rapid pace.
So I did a video on Protect 2.0. It's still out there. It's cringe to watch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
29th of May 2022.
Oh, I know what I'm doing tonight.
Updating it or doing a video on it.
I'll put it in all your chats.
Watching
Monty's.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah. Go to watch this video. Yeah. Somebody just says, "What's the best consumer product?" I get kind of what we were saying, the UCG fiber. I think that, or any of them without you said, but not for consumer, not professional, the UCG fiber for sure, or even for professional, or the Max.
Max is really good too.
All right. Well, do we want to do any more questions, or are we good?
I think we can wrap up there.
I got to bounce to another show.
Sure. Yeah, thank you all for
next time.
Yeah, thank you guys for entertaining us for the last hour. And
I guess we should do.
Joining.
We should probably do each one of us do a exit. So I'll go first. So if people are watching me on other people's channels, I'm Cody from Mac Telecom Networks, YouTube channel, consultant. We do builds and stuff like that. You can find me youtube.com/Mac Telecom Networks. I will be live on Sunday. So if you are in my chat right now, I probably missed a ton of questions, which come on Sunday. It will be 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll get to those questions then. And thanks.
Clay.
All right, I'm Clay, CEO, DPC Technology. YouTube, DPC Technology. You know where to find me. And I'll probably be on Cody's live stream on Sunday, as I always am.
Awesome. All right, Jesse.
You got it. I'm Jesse Nolan from Tab Geeks. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I do a little bit more than just Ubiquiti. I'm also a Google developer expert, and I have a really cool video coming up with them. So if you're in the Google ecosystem, make sure you hit subscribe. If you like all the Ubiquiti stuff that we've talked about, I obsess about it day and night, as you can see here behind me, and I'm constantly playing with it. I'm also very active over on X. Yes, I am still over there. Twitter for the OGs in the audience. It's just my name, Jesse Nolan. I spend an unhealthy amount of time over there just talking tech and posting about AI and things like that. So feel free to connect both on the channel and on X.
Jesse, what's your next video?
My next video for Ubiquiti or in general?
Ubiquiti.
Ubiquiti, that's a good one. I think I need to do some of the cameras I missed. So there's the G6, I don't know, one of the G6s. I still haven't done the PTZ. I have to do the G6 PTZ. That surprised me, and then I got caught up with everything else. I was like, this is amazing, and then I was busy doing all the other videos and getting caught up after rebuilding this new set that I have set up here. So what about you?
Cody?
My next one is the UDB IoT, so that's pretty well done. A couple other things to add, and then hopefully it'll be out within the next few days. Probably not tomorrow because it's Thanksgiving there in the States. I found that typically releasing videos on holidays isn't the best for analytics, so that will be my next video. What about
you guys are on vacation? You're behind me already.
I've been I was on vacation for about 3.5 weeks, so that's why you guys haven't seen pretty well anything from me.
Love it. Monty, what you got in the pipeline?
So next is I don't know. So I'm either going to release this one, which is the G6 Pro turret. So I have that one, or I'm going to do Network 10. So Network 10's gone official now. So that one's got a lot more around IPv6. So I think that's going to take a little bit longer to put together. So it's probably going to be the turret next.
Cool. I've got 2 in the can. One's done. That's the G6 Pro 360 versus the AI 360. That one I probably release on Friday, but like Cody said, sometimes it stinks on a holiday. And the other one I've got filmed but not edited is the it's kind of a 4-in-1. It's got the like I said, the UDB switch, the G6 Pro turret, and the whatever they call that little box. I said it a couple times. The Flex Pro whatever box.
Oh yeah, with the UDB switch.
Yeah, and mounting them on a light pole. So
oh, awesome.
Those two are going to be out in the next 10 days.
Awesome. I guess we just have Monty, your channel to shout out, and that's your show.
So Monty Inside Wire. I'm here to talk all things Ubiquiti, installs, consulting, design, whatever you need. I'm here. You can catch me on my website or any of my socials. And thank you all for joining us this evening. And hopefully we'll do another one of these very soon.
Sounds good.
For sure.
Thanks, Monty.
Thanks.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
all. This was fun.
Guys. Yeah.
See you guys.
Bye. Press all the end stream buttons.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys